Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Kino Cinema Klub podcast. I'm your host, Johnny Bosco, joined as always by Dean Chapman, Eli Hargett, and Sydney Meredith. Today we're talking about Bug. What did y'all think of it?
It had its moments.
It wasn't bad. It was definitely kept you engaged throughout.
I will say I didn't love it, but everything escalated pretty quickly in the movie, is my first thought about it.
Absolutely. My first interaction with this movie was when I was much younger. I started watching it, made it about 15 minutes, and had I stuck around for an extra 5, I would have been hooked, but I was totally lost and just not interested in it at all at the time. But this time, I was very interested. In the past few times I've watched it, I've loved this movie. Well, we're starting off with Ashley Judd's character,
Agnes.
Agnes. It was called Aggie.
Well, I think that was like her nickname.
Yeah, anyway. Being woken up in the middle of the night by phone calls with nobody on the other end. Wakes up, sees empty bottles littering her room, and she thinks that the calls are coming from her ex, somebody she calls Jerry.
Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry's
goes to-
the ex-husband.
And she goes to the store, starts showing some serious PTSD things, seeing little weird flashes over by the meat section or something.
Your thing was like bread, right? Or was it meat? No, it was onion. It was an onion.
Yep, onion. Goes to work, works at a lesbian bar. Her lesbian friend introduces her to Michael Shannon, brings him back to her room. His name was Peter. Peter Evans.
Yeah,
Not
that
plain old Peter.
part really. I was like, why is she just hanging out with the person she doesn't know at her house alone? It's like, here's this random guy I found. See ya.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, it
he's
seems
like,
like a good friend, and then there's like, I just heard.
It seemed like I do believe they briefly were introduced at the bar because she did wave her over and say like, "There's somebody I
okay.
want you to meet."
No,
Yeah,
but
but
I'm just
entirely
saying, but she didn't even she didn't even know him though. She had literally
Yeah,
just
No,
met
she
him.
knew nothing
feel like
about him, but you know,
as a woman,
She
if
clearly-
some random man stayed at my house and was like, "Can I sleep on your floor?" I'd be like, "Hell no!"
well, yeah, she clearly wasn't thinking straight. She's got a. They come back. They're in a partying mood. They've had their drinks. They're on their cocaine and the various drugs. You know, they're having a party, and her lesbian friend gets a call that her lesbian lover was being sexually harassed. So she's got a jet to a party. The guy rejects to go with her and decides to stay around. Ashley Judd's character doesn't seem to mind too much. Lets him sleep on the couch, and he does choose to sleep on the floor. I don't know. You're talking about a hotel couch and a hotel floor. It doesn't seem like it'd be that different either way.
Yeah, but he also briefly mentioned. He was like, yeah. It's like, oh, I have somewhere to go. It's like, where? And he's like, nowhere, basically. And I was like, oh,
Yeah,
so you're
got a
homeless
place
as well.
to stay. Where I stay.
Yeah,
But he didn't insist upon it or anything. Oh, that was kind of a cute little scene where they had out there. And they're on the swing or whatever.
I also think she's just extremely lonely. So anyone,
Yeah,
she would have just
yeah.
It
she
seemed
would
like
take
he
anyone
struggled to make any kind of real human connection though. It just seemed like he was just off the whole time. Like they would be talking about something and then he would just completely zone out. It's hard to spot him by someone else.
Mentioned to her that she said that people that don't drink make him nervous because he apparently hadn't really been drinking at that point, and he said he makes people nervous anyway because he picks up on things, and says that he noticed that she's lonely. When they get back into the hotel room, he starts pointing out on a painting and pointing out people in the painting that may or may not actually be there. And gets her to go along and believing it fairly quickly.
Yeah. And he was like, jackpot. It's bug time.
Yeah, well, there's the chirping that they search after.
Well, I'm just confused on
Oh
why.
yeah,
why
man, that
did he
fire
need? Why
alarm
did?
when when he went to go? My bad.
No, you're fine. I was just saying it was just. I find it strange that he felt like he needed to spread it, or what, or if it was. Yeah.
Well, I think
Well-
that also, I'm not really sure about this theory, but so at one point they have like
hold
some
off on
kind of
theories.
okay.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I know we've kind of
I
been
feel like
having
we were
a little
about
more
to-
open form, and that's a good thing. But I'm trying to get like the plot points of Jerry showing up in his house and all
Okay,
that.
sorry. Go ahead, and I'll remember
you're
this
good.
spot.
Well, they after he sleeps on the floor, wakes up. Jerry Goss is in the house. Her ex. She assumes that it's him in the shower, like Shannon's character, but it is not. Comes out, really being a dick, but like, he's
Yeah, how did
super
he
controlling.
teleport in the shower?
Oh, I mean, he picked the lock, got in the house, and just went into the shower.
Yeah.
She was asleep. After a night of drinking and coke use.
I think it was just confusing the way they did it because you just didn't expect him to be there, and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? I thought he I thought the other guy like transformed and looked totally different. I was like, what
I
is
mean, that's the
happening?
thing. I mean, he just shows up. It's a subversion of expectation. She was surprised, so are we as the audience, and it's her super controlling ex. He's kind of just being a din, but he's not like very physically aggressive until she mentions Lloyd, who is their son. He says he isn't the one that lost him, implying that she did. Giving context to the supermarket scene from earlier. Peter shows back up while Jerry's standing over her battered body.
Yeah, he didn't do much. He was just kind of like, hey, how's it
He
going?
introduced himself.
I'm Peter.
I'm like, where did he go?
Peter, plain old Peter.
Plain
Peter
old
Evans.
Peter.
I'm just like wondering
Peter
during that
Evans.
moment, like where he even went, because I mean, he was sleeping on the floor,
To the
and then
store.
he just. Oh, he did? Okay, that confused
Yeah,
me.
he's like,
Yeah,
went to
he
the
said he
store to
took
get
her. He said he took
breakfast.
her keys, and
Yeah,
he went and got
key
yeah.
to her key to the hotel.
I must have
He
missed
didn't
it.
take her
Well,
car.
yeah.
I was always
Yeah,
confused about that.
It just, she's probably lived there for so long.
Yeah,
It's
she was
probably
living
one
in
of
a
those-
hotel room.
I was about to say, it's probably one of
Sweet
those that
life
you
is
pay,
Zack and
like-
Cody style.
Yeah.
No running in the lobby.
Yeah, but then after that, they do the deed and he gets hooked.
Oh yeah. She said you really never been with a woman before. I can't tell.
It wasn't exactly that, but she,
Yeah, that was
they
line
do,
for line.
Yeah, it
do
really was.
intercourse and then
They do the
wakes up in the
intercourse?
middle of the night.
They do the intercourse.
A
very-
They bang.
A very long sex scene.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was kind of drawn out. It does give
Remember-
greater context when it's a very pivotal scene in the movie, when
I
when
hate
all
that he
things are
doesn't-
considered.
But he doesn't
Yeah,
put
then you
his
see the
pants
bug.
on
Then you see the
forever.
and then you see the bugs flash.
Yeah, start seeing the bugs all up in the bed, getting bit by him.
Bids.
A pretty fun scene drawn out where they're talking about whether it's a lice, a plant lice, a bed bug, a terp.
And he's completely naked the whole time. He's like, let me look for all these bugs with my wiener out. And
Yeah,
it
well,
was-
you know,
Crouched
like,
down,
it
he looked like Smeagol or something.
It was
I've
an
got the
aphid,
4K
guys.
UHD
That's what it
version,
was.
so let me tell you, I saw more details than I would have liked to. I wasn't really planning on going into this much depth about that,
Oh my
that portion
god!
of it, but since we
what'd you
are,
see? Tell us
I
what you
will go
saw,
for.
Johnny.
He saw
I mean, I'm
Pecker.
just gonna say that Ashley Judd surely had a hairy chest, and that was a little interesting to see. Anyhow, they squish the bug because it's an aphid, blood-sucking aphid.
Well, I
Doesn't
guess it could.
Peter run away after this?
Yes, because she said that she was going to like call the hotel maintenance people or whatever and have them come and like tell them there was bugs, and he's like, don't do that because I don't want you to do that. We'll just take care of it ourselves.
About that.
Yeah, and then because she
Well,
did that, he like ran away, and then she like really freaked out about it. She's known this guy like what 2 days, and it's like, don't leave me.
Oh yeah, I mean, she made herself vulnerable. She said she wasn't the type of person to do that. Just really latching on to somebody, and there surely was the next.
Yeah, she was definitely. She was.
Correct. Had just showed up in her house. She was most certainly what?
Very desperate, and not in a healthy mindset.
Yeah, he gets dressed, runs out of the place. She's freaking out, goes into the bathroom crying. I mean, yeah. You'd ought to if you're running outside. I'd imagine. Especially considering he's trying to avoid police, because when he comes back, he tells her that he's actually part of a military experiment where they're doing tests on him. He was a test subject, and that he went AWOL, and the military and FBI and all sorts of government agencies are trying to track him down. That's why he was so hesitant to let her in on any details.
Hit the road.
Yeah, well, that would have been the smart thing to do.
Yeah, it would have been. I guess it would have made the movie pretty boring.
But I also think she was so like desperate for somebody to be with, or like, and so she wouldn't be lonely, like that she just would have latched on to anybody that would have been in that situation with her. So,
and we don't know as much about Peter, but the same could be said about him, you know? I mean, because like he is kind of sitting there and saying like at one point he says, I know you hate me, to her, and she's like, well, that's not true. I wouldn't be letting you stay here if I hated you. And he's like, that's true. Well, no, that's true. Like he stutters on it. He goes back.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess my question really is, are they just like drinking and like doing coke, or were they like smoking meth or something?
Yeah, there was some.
They were certainly at the very least doing crack. Yeah, there was a very least
doing crack.
Cocaine and...
Well, that's near the end.
Shit.
But I'm just saying, because I've heard that like when people like smoke meth and stuff, like they feel like there's bugs crawling all over them.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of the thing in the movie. I mean, you know, it's like how much is in their mind? Is all of it in their mind? I mean, Peter's got a very conspiratorial mind about everything, talking about how the United States started the AIDS epidemic and all sorts of different diseases and stuff when he's spilling out everything to her.
Really, the crazy part to me is that she just like goes with everything that he says and just like believes everything that he's saying. And like at first I feel like she was hesitant, and then I feel like as they got more into it, like first he finds that the first couple bugs, and then he's like, okay, well, we'll take care of this ourselves. And then like flips basically to the next scene when Jerry comes back or whatever. And they've got a bunch of like those sticky traps hanging everywhere. He's like looking
Yeah, I
at
mean,
his
that's how he planned to take it. That's how he planned to take care of it himself. He didn't want the office to come in and start poking around
government.
and asking questions and maybe find out about his whereabouts and whatnot. Yeah, Jerry
Can't
shows
trust
up the
anyone
next
in the
day,
government.
Jerry
Yeah, I'm not-
shows up looking straight up like Milo Yiannopoulos when he's wearing those sunglasses and that white t-shirt. He, Peter sneaks up on him and gives him a little clap from behind to get back on him for the other day or something like that. And then proceeds to allow himself to just get pushed around. Jerry's just kind of going mad, spraying bug spray all over the place. On top of him, on top of the bed and everything. Starts talking
I will
about how
say,
it's wild they don't have a TV. They could be invaded. They wouldn't even know.
who the fuck
will
doesn't
say.
have a TV? Oh, Jerry's eyes were absolutely crazy the entire movie. Any scene that he was in, his pupils were so dilated.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
You would look terrifying.
But he ends up threatening Peter, telling him that what he would do to him if he found out he was fucking with Agnes. Anyway, girl, what's her name? RC and Agnes show back up while Jerry and Peter are going at it. Agnes tells him that he needs to leave. He starts trying to like kind of sweet talk his way back in, giving a amusing anecdote from the past about a pork party. And once again, he's told to leave. He does actually apologize to Peter because he says, I was thinking you were just some coked up fiend trying to take advantage of her. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was certainly a kind of aggressive thing, but it does kind of show this guy, though certainly a bad dude and involved in a very rough life like the rest, he's got multiple sides to him.
Yeah.
Not a
I don't feel
one-dimensional
that for him.
character. I didn't say I felt bad for
He's
him.
got a head on him, you know.
I feel like the more the movie went on, the more I liked Jerry. I did not like him at the beginning, and then like once everybody else
No, for
started
real,
going,
because I mean, you get
I was gonna say
you
once
get the
everybody else
context
started
in it.
being crazy, I'm like, Jerry's actually kind of normal.
But
Yeah. Who
After,
the fuck doesn't have a
Jerry-
TV?
after Goss leaves, Jerry Goss, the lesbian friend tries to call the police, to which she is shut down heavily by Michael Shannon. Then Agnes starts pointing out a bug bite on her arm. RC is kind of just sitting there like, there are no bugs. What are you talking about? I don't see it. Let me see it. She's like, no, it's really small. What's in there? Here, I'm gonna dig it out.
Yeah, she was
Then-
like, don't do that.
And then my
Need to go to the
favorite part
doctor.
happens. He like freaks the fuck out. Like,
Yes.
Flails
That
his
was
body
great.
everywhere.
But before that, they had a nice little bit of dialogue where they're talking about they had went to the doctor and whatnot, and then said, "Are there bugs or are there no bugs?" The sign says vacancy or no vacancy. It doesn't say possibility of vacancy. Are there bugs or no? Don't give me some bugs. Are there bugs? Presence of bugs or absence of bugs?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
What town are they even living in? Everyone in the town is just batshit crazy.
I mean, there's only like 4 characters.
No, there was the doctor that we haven't gotten to. There was RC Cola. There was Jerry. There was Peter. And there was Angie.
Who's
Five.
Angie? Oh, Agnes?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, there's one more extra. There's 5.
And the fifth doesn't show up until the very end of the movie, and we haven't got there yet. So yeah, there's like 4. I think that was an appropriate characterization of the number of characters, but either way. Yeah, Peter starts kind of.
What about all the people at the bar?
Oh.
Those aren't characters; they're background. You know, this was originally a stage play.
It's very disrespectful to bar patron number 3.
And Michael Shannon had actually played the role many times, from what I've seen.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean he played the role many times?
In the stage
On stage,
play, Eli,
prior to the movie.
Oh.
in his mind with the bugs. That's when he played it.
But RC starts trying to convince Agnes to go with her and telling Peter that if she doesn't let her go, then he's gonna reintroduce him to an old friend, Dr. Sweet.
Oh yeah, Dr. Sweet.
Which, when I first saw this through, I mean, that tripped me out. I'm like, what? She's talking about... Like, that's the thing. It kept me going back and forth on, like, are they just insane druggies, or is he onto something? Maybe a little from column A, a little from column B, but I don't know, but...
Yeah, but then they're talking about how he was, like, in a mental hospital, and, like, he was just crazy.
That is a real possibility. But I love how he just sits there. He's like, look, I have no interest in keeping someone where they don't want to be or being where I'm not wanted. I'm here because I was asked to stay. As for Dr. Sweet, tell him what you want. I'm sure he already knows where I am. But as for your contention about there not being bugs, I disagree. Fantastic. Pure Kino. Loved it. But he starts freaking out, spazzing out on the bed. Once they finally get him to calm down, Agnes slaps the shit out of her friend and tells her to get the hell out, never come back.
Well, she was like, he's the only thing I have. Do you want me to have nothing? And
yeah,
then...
Yeah. That was pretty dope. I mean, I started busting out laughing when she slapped her, because I just was not expecting that at all the first time. I mean...
Yeah, and then I feel like from then on, things just escalate extremely quickly.
Yeah, Peter starts talking about how there's an egg sac in his tooth, and he
that was hard
yanks
to
it out with
watch.
a pair of pliers.
I didn't even watch
Cracks it
that part
open.
because it's sick. I had to close my eyes.
Stuck it up under the microscope, and then the dramatic moment where she just says, millions!
That was sick. I was deeply disturbed by him ripping out his mouth like that.
I didn't even fucking watch that part.
And wait, and also, how did it grow back?
What grow back?
His teeth.
I don't think
didn't.
it did.
It was just one tooth.
Yeah,
It was
just
like-
one
grow back.
tooth.
It was like one of his
Wow.
molars.
Oh,
Yeah, it was like in one piece,
Yeah,
where
it's
Brooke
horrible.
just drinks some milk.
More like in God of War when you rip off Clados's fingernail.
Stop making me add copyrighted clips. Anyway, Dr. Sweet knocks on the door. The room is covered in foil. Got those big bug zappers up, lit by candles.
Before we go on, for a doctor, not so smart.
Yeah, doing crack is
You might
probably
not
not
be
the best
smart.
idea if you're a doctor.
He might not be smart, but he's super sweet.
Yeah, I guess he is. He's very trusting.
Dr. Sweet. That's his profession.
Being sweet.
Right. After
He's
knocking
got
on
a
the door and
PhD in
trying to be allowed in, then Goss kicks in the door, which Why was he there with the doctor? That's kind of wild. Pins down
Oh,
Agnes and
conspiracy.
demands that she hears him out. Then Dr. Sweet comes in, starts talking to her, tells Goss to leave. He does, per his request. Dr. Sweet starts questioning the state of the
per
room
request.
and all the foil. No, per his request. Dr. Sweet's. He told him to go out of the room, and he follows. Starts asking about the state of the room with all the bug zappers. She starts telling him that Peter is a paranoid schizophrenic. He asks for
I
a
believe
drink. She
Dr.
denies it, but she does allow him to smoke her crack, which I feel like a drink would be a lesser demand, but what do I know? He proceeds to take not one but 2 hits of the crack.
He said, do you mind?
while
Do you
sitting
mind?
sitting atop jet fuel.
She's like, "You're sitting on jet fuel." And he's like, "It's okay. I'm just gonna smoke some crack real quick. Don't worry."
Very calm crack smoking sesh. I will say he was, breathe in, breathe out. I'm like, yep. I'm
Yeah,
high.
just small talks her about Peter and the bugs and all that sorts of stuff. The doctor says that he's being watched. Says that he's gonna take Peter away from there and remove the egg sacs. She asks why he would do it. Says he felt bad. So he does kind of admit it. If we are to take the movie at face value, which I'm not sure you should, but
No, well, he was obviously lying to be like, come on, lady, let's be for real. He was tricking her, in my opinion.
You think?
and then he goes as far to say that he will help her find her son.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Yeah.
Goss could have said something about it, considering they were together for some reason. But
Who's Goss again?
Jerry, her ex.
Really?
Yeah, he was the one that kicked in the door.
Really?
I thought that was just like the landlord or something like that, or like the hotel owner.
You didn't
Dude,
know that was him?
come on, dude. You didn't know that was him, dude.
I thought I thought after he got his hand stapled, he never came back.
He didn't.
He even tells her he's alive, which that's. I think that would certainly be kind of crossing ethical boundaries if he knew nothing about it. To not only say that he'll help her, but to give her his word that he is alive. Peter comes out covered in scars.
Works for the
and-
government.
I suppose, if he does work for the government. That's Peter's story. Other tellings of it would say that he is
Just worked at a
he's just
psychiatric hospital.
he's just his doctor. His therapist. Peter comes out all covered in scars and stuff. Dr. Sweet starts talking to him. He's getting
With a
ready
knife.
to,
The knife was already in hand. I want that to be pointed out.
absolutely, but he thought he would be able to sedate him. He had his needle in hand.
Yeah,
And
well.
Things
he
got a little
he
bit
brought
stabby.
a needle to a knife. He brought a needle to a knife fight.
I certainly would have felt better with a knife, or perhaps a sword if the other has a knife, but,
Sword.
needles.
I would have just exited. I'm like, sorry, Peter, you're on your own. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the deputies involved in this one. It's beyond me now.
Peter stabs them all up, says that he's just a robot. You need to look human.
Putting his hands all over it.
I will
Yeah,
say
then-
that the opening shot of this movie was Dr. Sweet lying dead on the floor. And in the room.
Why did you
I don't know if
spoil it?
I
Yeah,
mean, I don't
no.
know if it did exactly, but
Then after he kills him, they get a pizza delivery.
Oh yeah, the pizza
That was
guy.
wild.
There was another character. That's another character.
We never saw
There's
him.
He wasn't a
Six
character.
characters.
He was off screen. That doesn't count.
Well, he
But
said,
he's
he
still
said
a
some words. He's
character.
like, "You gotta pay me, lady."
Yeah, and they gave him a credited name. His name's like
Well,
Pizza
I
David
don't
on
care.
IMDb.
Pizza David.
Pizza Harris.
You're not going to give credit to Pizza David. We can't take this serious.
No, Pizza David is a farce. It's all just a figment of their imagination. So is the pizza.
How do you
They
know?
pull the pizza back inside and start tearing it all apart, searching it for any
Bugs.
devices. Peter ultimately tells Agnes that he does not think that their meeting was a coincidence.
Oh yeah, he
It
starts
wasn't-
going on some psychopade. Is that a word?
Went on about everything, about the Bilderbergs, and basically every conspiracy theory that was available at the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
9/11.
I think they said
Bush
anything
did
about
it.
9/11. I'm pretty sure that the play was written beforehand.
Never forget.
But he starts getting it to the point where he wants Agnes to be able to put together the pieces. She recounts when Lloyd went missing, says that she thinks Goss took him because he would have screamed or cried if somebody that he didn't know took him. Says that the FBI paid him off to steal it. Says she thought that her lesbian friend had brought Peter to her on behalf of the FBI.
Oh yeah, so they could, because she was the mother bug and he was the drone bug. So they were making lots of bugs together through intercourse that they had one time.
That Goss got early parole, but at the same time Peter shows up to track the bugs. He was in on it. RC brought Peter so she could get custody. Because she said, and I quote, they would never let a couple of queers.
I don't even get that.
Peter's the drone. The bugs show up after they had sex and they want to leave. They won't leave, rather, because the bugs think of them as their parents. So they have to
What?
not be around for the bugs.
They have to get rid of the bugs to save the world.
She was the super mother queen aphid.
I am the super mother bug!
They then doused each other in gasoline.
While reciting
Man.
bug terms.
Jet
And
fuel.
they were like aphid. Bug. Legs.
Larvae.
Embraced each other one last time.
Sorry.
And
Anthropod.
lit the room ablaze.
I
And the
couldn't
pizza
stop
delivery
laughing
was after the
during that part of the movie because they were just like larvae, aphid, bug.
What was in his tooth again?
eggs. It was an egg sack.
Egg sack. Yeah, they definitely brought up the egg sack one last time. Egg sack.
Oh my god.
I will say, you can. I definitely think that old Peter is just he's definitely a crazy psycho person, schizophrenic or whatever. Because you can, he escapes from the mental facility. He is numb. He is monotone. But as the movie goes on, he progressively gets more irate and energetic and, I guess full of life
Yeah.
per se.
From that
Crazy.
reading of it, I suppose from the other's perspective, it would be something like At the beginning, he doesn't know if he can trust her or not. He really doesn't feel like he can because he thinks that she might be in on it as well. And when he finally is able to attain her trust, it is at that point that he then starts to become more animated and allow his things that caused other people to be freaked out, as was mentioned earlier. I think the movie was pretty awesome. I don't know. Would anybody like to give their ratings, I suppose?
I think I'm gonna give it a. Oh man, I don't know. This is tough because the more we talked about the movie, the more I think I like it. But
I'll give it like a 6.8. It wasn't bad. It kept me engaged. I just you know, I've seen better psychological horror movies.
I think I'm gonna stay in the same realm of 6. I'm gonna give it a solid 6.
I raised my score a little bit. I'll give it a 4.5. It just was not my cup of tea.
Wow, you really haven't liked any movie other than the ones you picked.
I did like other. I like the one. I like the one that Dean picked.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the man that put a child in me. I like his.
What up? But no.
I gave it a 10 out of 10. This movie is pure Kino.
Oh, the 10 out of 10 is so devalued now.
Bullshit. This is a 10 out of 10 to me. I'm not a critic. I'm not sitting here trying to be any kind of real standard of what is and isn't a good movie. I'm telling you, I've watched this movie probably 5-6 times in the past couple of years. I love this movie.
I feel like if I watched it again, I might rate it higher, but I think the first time around watching it, it's kind of like, what the fuck is happening? Like, what is going on? And everything's going so quickly and escalating so fast.
That is a sign of a good movie.
For sure.
But then
when things are quick, I like
one thing
that.
I was thinking about was like, I don't think that was Jerry that was calling her on the phone. I feel like somehow it was
the FBI.
That or it was Peter the whole time. Yeah.
Nah, there was no way it was Peter beforehand.
It could have been.
You think Peter was stalking her?
Maybe because it, like, how weird was it that it seemed like when he was asking her all those questions in the kitchen, like, he seemed like he already knew these things about her. You know?
He picks up on things.
Very quickly.
I feel like it was him calling her.
I don't know.
I don't think it was
he didn't
Jerry
have a home.
either.
He didn't have a phone.
I feel like Jerry always had like a lot to say. He wasn't one to stay quiet.
I mean, are we entirely discounting the the thought that it may have been government agents all along?
Yeah, I think it was.
I mean, Doss did say he only called her once.
It could that,
when
or I
thought
about
I only
this.
Called you once.
Maybe it was like her kid or something, or maybe it was nobody.
Maybe Peter was her kid.
Or maybe nobody.
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe nobody was calling her, and she's just so freaking crazy.
I said Peter was her kid.
Peter was not.
I heard you, but he was not.
Complete incest movie.
The kid wouldn't have been that old. He went missing when he was 6, and it was like less than
5
10 years later.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I kind of thought that for like half the movie. I was like, damn, he's really.
He's her kid.
And
she just had sex with him. Like, what?
I mean, I've seen crazier shit in movies. Y'all ever seen Teeth?
And isn't that basically Oedipus Rex? I mean, I'm not the most Shakespeare-minded, but...
Oh, speaking of that, so it's Sydney's turn to pick the next movie.
No, I already know what I'm picking, but I don't know if we're still talking about this movie.
It's not. You all decided it.
Well, no. I mean, I figured because we usually do the ratings at the end.
We already did the ratings.
Yeah.
Oh, we do the ratings, then we ask about the next. I mean, we're doing final thoughts. I didn't formally announce final
Yeah.
thoughts, but it seemed
Oh,
natural.
okay.
I mean,
Yeah, very natural.
I've also thought, like, another thought that I had about this movie was, like, maybe Peter wasn't even a real person, but, like, a figment of her imagination, and she just...
Yeah,
That
I
could
think
be
the phone
true.
call
I don't
was, she
think
was
so, 'cause
crazy.
Goss, I mean,
And, yeah, she was just
the
going
phone calls could have
crazy.
just been a hallucination
Yeah.
on her part.
And then all these
Mm-hmm,
people
that could be it.
are, like, trying to help her, and maybe the doctor actually came to try to help her because she was actually the crazy one. But, I don't know. There's a lot of things that...
I think, in my opinion, they were both crazy. Well, she was like borderline crazy, and then like she also was horrified of being alone,
Yeah.
and like let this random stranger into her life who just happened to be the worst person to have in her life. Which the whole movie, you kind of just feel bad for her the whole time.
Sure, for sure. I mean,
I think they were
that is
both
operating on.
giant bugs, and they were full of egg sacs.
I mean, he could have been the drone and she could have been the queen. I'm just saying. I don't think that is entirely outside of the realm of possibility within the fiction
Yeah,
of
but
the
this
movie.
movie's called Bug, not Bugs.
I think bugs
Yeah,
came.
well,
I think aphids kidnapped her child.
Yeah,
I love the part where RC was talking to her and talking to me. He's just like, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, you know a lot about aphids? No. Do you know anything about aphids? No, we do.
Yeah, we're experts.
Like, Michael Shannon is something else.
Because she was
thought
like,
that he
aphids
played his
don't even-
role perfectly.
yeah,
He was like,
he's a good
aphids
actor.
don't even bite, and he's like, we know all about aphids. You don't know anything.
Said, do you know anything about aphids? No, we do. So many great lines, so many great moments. I can't see
also,
how I would
I
rate
feel
this
like
anything other than a
the
10.
line that like encapsulated the movie was when she was like, she said something like, I'd rather be here with you talking about bugs than all alone. She was just the
Yeah,
I just
loneliest
really did
person
not want to be
ever.
alone.
Yeah.
Well, it seems that in previous stories we didn't care much about the relationships between the main characters. Would it be fair to say that this movie has changed that trend?
I don't know. In my opinion, like I could see relationships more, but I didn't care for them as much because I just thought, well, they're both
Yeah, at
just
the end,
like,
I was kind of happy they died.
yeah, like, they're just both crazy meth heads.
Fight at the destruction of two lovers. It is a tale as old as time itself. I don't know. I can't say I was happy to see him go, but it certainly put a nice conclusion to the movie.
It felt like they needed that release.
The only thing that I wish would have been
There's a lot
different
of
about,
pent up shit.
like, if they both didn't die, I feel like Peter should have died, and then like she should have been helped. But you know, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes you just say, "Hey, aphid, bug, egg sac," and then you just catch yourself on fire.
Larvae.
That was pretty epic last scene.
I mean, after watching it a few times, I personally do not necessarily think they are entirely crazy, but I mean, they are certainly wild.
No, they are
out
mad
there.
geeks.
They are crazy, Johnny.
I agree, but I don't think that necessarily negates the idea that the government is experimenting on and tracking Peter. All of the bugs. I mean, I will say that it is fair to point out that there is nary a bug to be seen in the hotel room at any juncture in the movie. Anytime they point something out, it's claimed to be so small it can't be seen, and it cannot be seen by the
You know
audience,
what,
that's for sure.
man? This is called Bug, and there was no bugs in it. That might bump it down a full point. It might be a 5.
I mean, there
I
was
don't
a
like-
flash
I don't like
on the
being
screen
lied
with the,
to.
there was a flash on the screen with a praying mantis, so there was a bug at the very least.
Okay. It can keep it 6. You can keep it 6.
And I could be wrong, but I feel like on the 4K Blu-ray, I was
5.5.
even able to make out a fly in the room that may or may not have been intentional. I'd say it probably was not if there was a fly.
Oh yeah, I'm about to say, you're telling me these crackheads didn't notice one fly? It really brought me out of the immersion.
Talking about on the director's part and whatnot. This was the director of The Exorcist.
Really?
Yes. I
Interesting.
watched his commentary on it. He seems to say that it is not a... It probably did take... The majority of the plot took place in the characters' minds. So... But he didn't write the script. As I said, the script has been in existence for a while. Or versions of it. But... Anybody else got anything to say about this? Sounds like we're winding down.
No, I'm excited to hear what Sydney's got cooked up for us. She hasn't told me.
Oh, okay. I am going to pick a movie I haven't seen, but I've been wanting to see for a while. It's called Rear Window, and it is like an old 1954 movie.
Oh my god, who's in it?
What's it called?
Rear Window.
Rear Window.
Anthony Hitchcock movie.
Anthony? You mean
Is
Alfred?
that wrong? Alfred, shit. I was crossing
Oh, it's a
Anthony
Hitchcock
Hopkins
film?
from Psycho.
Yeah. It is a Hitchcock movie. Yes.
Okay.
Which is
Oh,
also a
really?
Hitchcock movie, so it's not entirely wild on my part.
But
I've
Yeah.
not seen
Yeah.
bugs.
I have not seen this movie, but I've been wanting to see it for a while, and it's an older film, so we'll see if any of us like it.
Right on.
Well, what kind of movie is it? I'm assuming it's like a thriller.
It's like a thriller.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've
like a
probably seen it
mystery.
parodied at least 100 times.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now I'm excited.
Yeah, it's like
Hell yeah.
a mystery kind of movie.
Oh,
Absolutely,
we're definitely
looking forward to
inserting Family Guy clips if it was referenced by Family Guy.
I'm assuming probably.
I'm sure it has been, but I can think of The Simpsons referencing it.
Well, it's not my channel, so.
Yeah,
Put whatever you
I'll
like.
throw. If things can be found, they will be found. All right. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and close this out. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.